Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amanda Rose, and in today's video I'm just going to be giving all of you, the people who follow me, an update on everything that's been happening in the last couple of weeks. I haven't posted in a while, and when I say a while, it's probably maybe 2 weeks, but it feels a lot longer. And that's because there's just so much going on. So I figured that as I get ready, I'm going to do my makeup because I want to film a teaching video after this, that I would just dedicate this video to like catching up with me and just explaining everything that's been happening because I have a lot to tell you guys about. So yeah, so I'm going to be updating you guys on everything that's been happening. The first thing I want you to know is that I used a face wash. I believe this is what has broken me out, so I want to show you guys. It's a Cetaphil Gentle Skin Cleanser. I used this because we did a road trip to Chicago and I needed something that was just like easy to travel with. And I was like, oh, Cetaphil, they have a great, reputation. I think with this, it's too hard to wash off. It almost, I guess it's supposed to give this vibe where it moisturizes your skin. But I think I just had a really difficult time making sure that I washed all of it off. And so I never break up. I have this, and I have this. So what joy. I've had that for a while. But yeah, so I guess the first thing I should update you guys on is Simon's leg. So if you follow me on IG, you know this is all I've been talking about. Simon injured his knee. Now this happened, Simon is my dog, by the way, for those of you who don't know. He used to show up in my videos all the time, but ever since I've been filming in my room, I've just been able to just lock him out because he makes a lot of noise when he's in here, or he'll randomly bark. But yeah, so it happened a while ago, maybe back in November, I want to say. He was walking slightly weird, like if he had hurt his leg. So we're like, okay, let's be mindful. Simon loves to jump. He's definitely a jumper. He hears the doorbell, he'll jump. He jumps when my sister comes over. He's a jumper. So I guess we should have known that at some point he was going to hurt himself. So he's been like walking around with a little limp, but nothing too drastic and nothing too concerning. Back in January, I was walking him down the steps and he tripped because of me, and he like fell down a few steps. Now this happened in January, and I was shook, like crying, because I knew right away, like, dang, he hurt himself. So he started getting a little better with time. Like every day was a little different, but for the most part he was improving until March rolled around, and again I was walking him up the steps. It only happens with me. And I was walking him up the steps and I just hear him like go like do a cry and then just like stop midway up the steps. He didn't want to continue going up the steps. So I was like, shoot, what is going on here? So we were like, all right, we're gonna have to just take him to the vet and see what's going on. It's been for a while already, like we have to know what's happening. So we took him to the vet maybe 3 weeks ago already, and he has a slight tear in his knee. Now Simon is a very big dog, 70 pounds, and we also live in a 3rd floor building, like a walk up. There's no elevator. So that has been one of the biggest stressors ever, because now we're trying to limit his mobility and just how much physical activity he does, because we want the leg to heal but then also build scar tissue and all this other stuff that you read about. So just trying to be mindful of like how much physical activity he's doing, but then also not limiting it too much to the point where now the leg becomes weak. So that's really stressed us out. And this is for a dog. Like I can't imagine when people's like children get injured, even though Simon to us is like our child. Again, we've had him for all 8 years. So I guess, I don't know. I feel like people get weird with that, but you guys get it. Like we've had him since he was pretty much like a baby. Oh, that's been really stressing us out because again, we live in a 3rd floor walk up, and so having to limit his mobility, having to carry him. So we've purchased everything to help with this situation. I will also show you guys, I'll put like pictures here. So first of all, the day that he came home after the sedation, he looked crazy. He was definitely not himself for about a good 24 hours. I was actually slightly like concerned at how he was responding. But I'm pretty sure most dogs or people are like that after sedation, but it was freaking me out. So that's been that. And so we've been dealing with that. He's been on anti-inflammatory medication, pain medication. He's also on allergy medication. He's got a lot going on, that guy. And so that's pretty much been our like biggest stressor for the last couple of weeks, is just the dog. Now, then we ended up leaving to Chicago. So we had a friend who got married, and we did not want to take a plane. We still don't feel safe enough taking a plane. So we decided to do a road trip to Chicago. Now, just for some clarity, from New York to Chicago, straight, no breaks, no stops, is 12 hours. We definitely had to do stops, right? Clearly, any human being has to use the restroom and has to eat. So it took us 13 hours going and coming back to get from New York City to Chicago. On top of that, we had to leave Simon with my sister, who was absolutely great with him. But that was another thing. Now having to put the stress of the dog on somebody else, you know? So that just was a lot to deal with. But I'm so glad that we went. It was a nice little break for us. We were there only for 3 days. Again, mostly there for the wedding, but we were able to also just like check out the city. The weather was beautiful. Oh my God, it was so beautiful. It was like in the 60s. No wind. It was just a really nice weather, and I'm glad that we had a chance to go. So I wasn't able to film around that time either. Again, Simon was stressing us out, and then also we were away for a couple of days. So that again was really fun. We had a great time. I'm glad that we went, and then of course to also like go and celebrate a friend who got married. So now we come back to home, right? Now we're back, and I'm trying to adjust to everything that's happening with work. I am, just trying to catch up on lessons, catch up on grading. Spring break is right around the corner. And so, it's so hard to push yourself and get through the last week when like I'm about to go on a break. So that last week of work was rough. Then right before spring break, my job sends an email, like literally the day of break, and is like, oh, just so you guys know, when we come back from break, my contact. When we come back from break, we are going to go into a hybrid model. Come again. We have been remote, and I believe this is them like prepping for next year, because I believe next year the plan is that all schools in New York will at least be hybrid. So we've been remote since COVID started, you guys. So I've probably been in the building maybe twice, and that was for like SAT administration and back to school, like orientation, giving kids their laptops and all that stuff. So they dropped that bomb on us the day of break, or the day before break. And of course, you read the email and you're just like, whatever, I'll deal with it as it comes. But of course not. I'm thinking about it the entire time, and I'm just like, what is this going to look like? Talk about, we haven't been in the classroom in a legit year, like a full year. And then on top of it, into a model that none of us are familiar with, right? So I do believe that this is probably what most schools are doing, though. I feel like I've seen this also with other people on YouTube, other people on IG, where they've been told that their school is going to do a hybrid model. So I'm not sure if this is just like, the the law of the land at this point, where they're like, yeah, all schools are going to do this, because I know for sure that my school is not the only one. So I find that very interesting as well, that my school has decided this along when like other schools are doing this too. So that's been a whole nother animal, where now it's like, okay, blah, 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 where now it's like, okay, so now I have to worry about a hybrid model. What's that going to look like? So now I want to like find YouTube videos that talk about hybrid models and how teachers have been doing it, because I have absolutely no idea what to do. And in all honesty, I'm just tired. I'm really tired. And so to now have to like think and prep for this and really just be in the right headspace, you know, to make sure that I am doing the right thing for the last month, when you're exhausted, you know, like towards the end of the year, you're just so tired. And now to have to like try something new when you are just mentally and physically done, that's something where I'm just like, okay, great. It is what it is. And I guess, you know, the practice is better to have now than to not have at all, or to start the school year and be super confused. But I do kind of wish that, of course, like we weren't doing it right now. I'm just tired. I'm just very tired. And that's kind of why I've also like haven't really been sure what videos to post, because I'm just like, what are ideas? Like, what do people want to see? I just want to like sleep all day. So that's kind of where I've been at right now. And so that's everything as far as like, again, with Simon, our road trip. So that took a lot of time. The work changes to a hybrid model. And then also we're moving. So we've been in this apartment since we got married, and Miguel and I are about to be married for 7 years in July. So we got this apartment. Our lease ends in April. And we are moving. We're moving to a bigger space, cheaper rent. A lot of the motivation too was, again, Simon's leg, because of our third floor walk up. It's just like, okay, we have to get out of here, because clearly him going up all of these stairs is just not ideal for his body. So again, that was like a big motivator for why we needed to leave. And also just our apartment, we've outgrown it. We've been in this one bedroom for so long. This is in our bedroom, like our actual bedroom, like my bed is right there. Miguel has his work desk in our living room. We have a lot of stuff for such a small space, and I am also excited about getting rid of some stuff, but we just need a larger space. I think we're just outgrowing this area, and it's time. And so although our lease ends in April, where we're moving to won't be ready until June. So we had to contact our building, and we had to request that we stay just a month longer than what our lease says. And so thankfully they allowed us to do that, even though I think now with COVID, like, can they really say no? But we are staying one more month. And so that has also been adding a lot of stress. Like, I've mentioned to you guys in previous videos that I don't like change, and I'm someone who loves stability, things to be constant for a long period of time. Even though I know some change is good change, right? Don't get me wrong. But to know that all of this stuff is happening at the same time, my dog's injury, the work changes, us moving out by the end of May, like everything is just colliding. And I'm hoping that because I'm thinking about it all now, that by the time it actually happens, I'll just be like, yeah, this is what's happening. Hybrid model. Yeah, we're moving, whatever. But I am very overwhelmed, as opposed to my husband. He's the exact opposite. He's just like, why are you going to worry about something right now? Worry about it when it happens. Because for him, he's just like, you're going to worry for months until the thing happens. Just worry the day of kind of situation. Which is a really great way to view things, and I'm sure many people view life that way, but that's a lesson I'm still learning. That is a journey that is taking me a long time. And so for me right now, I'm just feeling very overwhelmed by all the changes and just not having real control of everything that's happening. And I know that that's like life, but that's kind of where we're at now. So that's why I've kind of been all over the place. That's why I haven't really been posting a lot of YouTube videos, because I just feel like there's just so many other things that are happening. And you know, when you're mentally distracted, it's hard to be creative. It's hard to think of really cool things to want to post. And so that's ultimately why I was like, let me just sit down, let me update people on what's happening. Again, Simon's been stressing us out. We went on this road trip. My job is making all these changes. Our life is being uprooted and we're moving somewhere else. Even though all these things are good changes, they're still overwhelming. So that's pretty much where I've been at and what's been happening on my end. Also, Stuff City. So my allergies have been out of control. And so I wanted to even film this video yesterday, but I couldn't. It was raining. And when it rains, my allergies are on another level. And that's why I'm just so congested. It was hard for me to talk, hard for me to breathe. And so today I felt a lot better to be able to post. But I look so pale. But yeah, so that's pretty much everything that has been happening and where we have been at, all the changes. And yeah, so hopefully I will be able to film a video that's teaching related. That's the plan, that's the goal. And also don't forget to check out my last video where I did a spring outfits idea. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That is my life update, everything that's been happening on my end in my home. And I hope to speak to you guys very, very soon.